Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of SlamTube with Richter Hammer. I'm your host, James Phoenix. With me is Chris the Mole.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about the WWE Royal Rumble match and pay-per-view that just ended.
Yep.
2018 Royal Rumble. So, what did you think, Mole? Overall.
Really, I thought we normally do it at the end.
Okay, just a basic thought to open the show up, but fair enough. We can wait till the end if you want.
Yeah, we normally go overall at the end because otherwise you're going to talk about what we're about to discuss.
That's fair. So there was a 2-hour pre-show. It was a cruiserweight 6-man match.
Again, we're not doing the pre-show.
I'm not doing the pre-show. I'm just saying there was that. There was Bobby Roode retaining in an open challenge, and there was another match. I don't remember what it was, but I don't think anybody cared.
Literally said we don't even need to mention the pre-show at the beginning. You said okay.
So we opened up the show with the WWE Championship match of AJ Styles in a handicap match against Team Cammy, aka Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Which was a decent match, good back and forth. I did like that they emphasized how Kevin and Sam were taking advantage of the numbers game by keeping themselves fresh by tagging in and out, but AJ still managed to overcome. And they did end with that little bit of controversy of technically AJ pinned the wrong guy, so they can parlay that into something further down the line if they so choose.
Yep. Basically, they never really lost per se, but obviously it'll still count. But it'll go into something for the next pay-per-view, probably a rematch at the next one, just to fill the gap before WrestleMania.
Well, I'm not sure, because the only pay-per-view was Elimination Chamber, and I'm not sure which show that one is.
Isn't there also Fastlane?
I don't believe so. Let's see. Review schedule.
Live, people.
Indeed.
Anything to waste time.
You asked. Oh, you're right. There is two. I apologize. It's Chamber and Fastlane. I was wrong.
I wasn't asking. I was literally saying they did that last year.
Okay. I didn't remember it being
watching the product, people.
I didn't remember it being that way last year. Fair enough.
Yeah, last year I think SmackDown had the Elimination Chamber and Raw had Fastlane.
Yep, they swapped them this year.
Yep. Which makes sense because they seem to be alternating the themed pay-per-views.
Yep. So that could work. So they could have a chamber with a bunch of people in it prior to the WrestleMania match. So that works.
That'll be for Raw though.
Oh right, yeah. So yeah, then they can settle a Sami Kevin thing in some kind of a match at Fastlane.
Yeah, probably a rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it'll probably be a rematch of Fastlane, which is fine.
Yeah.
And like I said, the matchup was cool. I enjoyed the match. This is one of the few matches that's had great build-up. Like their feud mixed with the Shane-Bryan feud has been one of the better build-ups, at least in recent years in terms of storyline. So I enjoyed that story. And yeah, you got the controversy at the end where technically AJ pinned the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane McMahon even acknowledged it.
Yep.
Which will further the Daniel Bryan-Shane argument probably on SmackDown.
Most likely.
So overall, that's pretty cool.
Indeed.
I like that match.
Yeah, so that was a good way to start things off. We then followed that up with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship 2 out of 3 falls match between the Usos and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. And I'll admit, did not see the ending of this coming. I like how impressive both teams looked. They both looked very, very strong, fighting for that first fall until the Usos finally got it. And I figured, okay, that's good. Then they're going to look equally strong. We'll get it the other way, and then eventually somebody will come out at the end. Did not expect the Usos to take the second fall out of nowhere with a roll-up.
Yep. And it worked, too. Like, Shelton played the veteran in the match. Like, he did stuff like take out one of them, smile and stuff when he got in there. It was great, the build-up for that bit. The roll up, I'm okay with it. I know some people probably being mad at that because the other team didn't get 2 falls. But I argue in 2 out of 3 falls matches, we need a couple where they don't get back and forth, like, oh, now we know who's going to win next.
Mm-hmm.
Because it means you never truly know who's going to win next, so that it works. And it was a great back. It was a great back and forth. It was a cool match, and I like the Usos, so I'm glad they kept the title.
Yeah, which is good.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's another team on SmackDown that's good enough to take the belts from the Usos without it being a step down.
What about Team Cammy?
They're not really a tag team.
Yeah, true.
They're more a stable or a group just for trying to go after the world title.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, but as an actual team, I don't see any of them being as good as the Usos or as good as a team, as enjoyable as the Usos.
Well, worst comes to worst, they've always got the New Day.
Yeah, which they're not as good as the Usos.
Yeah.
Although, if the Usos do lose, I wouldn't mind it being to the Fashion Police.
I could see that.
Breezango, or I think yeah, Breezango is what the actual name, I believe.
Yep.
But because that would elevate the hell out of them, because they're the team you don't think will win, so that'd be cool. I hope it's not to the fucking Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
So did WWE. They weren't featured in the Rumble, I don't think.
Nope. Not even the pre-show.
Yep.
Shame. All right. So after that awesome Uso retention, we had ourselves the 30-man Royal Rumble match.
Yep.
Which was brought a little bit earlier in this year's show, which I think was an interesting change-up, and I think it did. I think it was very effective to change it up in that way, both in what it did for the match that ended up being the main event, and also for this one to have a little bit earlier on to kind of be like, oh, this is good. You know, when the audience is still very very excited and not quite as worn out as they normally are by the time you get to the end of a show.
It's also because obviously they got 2.
Yeah.
So the crowd would be exhausted if you put them back to back.
Yep. And Royal Rumble clocked in at an hour and 05, and your winner was Shinsuke Nakamura, who ended the match by eliminating Roman Reigns after a Kinshasa.
Yep. Which I will say, don't care about Nakamura. I'm just going to put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
He's had like no build-up, I feel. So I feel like the reasons we should not like Nakamura winning is the same as when Reigns won.
Right.
But the actual match itself, I did enjoy the match. We had the Hurricane return, which was funny to see him as one of the returns.
Okay.
My favorite moment was Heath Slater being thrown into the ring after he got beat up multiple times by Sheamus. I mean, as Sheamus gets in the ring, Heath Slater now just quickly clotheslines him over the top rope.
That was amazing.
And it was that was funny.
And the question is, did Sheamus break Santino's record for shortest time in the Rumble match?
Not sure.
It's a good question. We'll have to wait and see.
Because that time, I'm sure they can always fudge it to say, but only because the Santino one was really short.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed to take Santino less time to go out the ring as well. So they could always fake the time. They've done that before with some records.
That's true. Yeah, they could just fudge it. Oh, he was in there for, 0.45 seconds or something.
Yeah, like originally one of the fastest title wins was Diesel.
Yeah.
Because he kicked Bob Backlund in the chest, jackknife 1, 2, 3, and at the time they were saying like, oh, he won in. I think at the time they said it was 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Then it evolved to like 18 seconds or something. So it's about the same as Brian. But when Brian did it, they kept calling that one of the quicker ones. Like, oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
They're famous for doing that. But the Rumble was cool, and we had some cool. We had cool moments. Like I said, like the Sheamus one was my favorite one of the night.
Yeah, definitely very good.
We also had there was a period in there where we had obviously Rey Mysterio returned. I was waiting because I was leaving that on
Booyaka,
so Jim could say
booyaka.
it, but he didn't. But yeah, we had Rey Mysterio return, which was cool, and we had a moment where we had on one side of the ring John Cena, Randy Orton, and Rey Mysterio, and on the other was Reigns, Nakamura, and I think Balor.
Balor, yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. How you split them up like that? That's kind of cool.
And despite not winning, Balor put up a hell of a showing because he was one of the first men in there. He was number 2 after Rusev, and he lasted almost the entire match. He came down to like the bottom 5.
Yep, which is exactly how I'd rate him out of the people on WWE's roster.
Oh,
Bottom 5.
fair.
Yeah, like I've said, he's got nothing going for him. Besides, arguably, you could say he's good in the ring, but even that, some of his moves are just flash.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real substance to him, but it was still fun with the Rumble. I enjoyed the Nakamura Randy Orton exchange where it's like kick, ooh, RKO.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's cool. Kofi's save wasn't that good.
Yep.
He sort of lands on one of the New Day. They put him on some pancakes, and he gets into the ring.
Yeah, and then gets like thrown back out relatively quickly.
Yeah, which is funny, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't that spectacular, his save. No,
Yep.
in the past, he's done spectacular ones, but like I said, in the last 3 ones or so, his saves have pretty much been, oh, yeah, we need a Kofi Kingston save. What can we do? And they're just phoning it in.
Mm-hmm. Well, literally this year they phoned it in because they gave it to somebody else in the other Royal Rumble match, but we'll get to that.
But is that the reason? Because they didn't do that last year or the year before.
True.
And his saves haven't been that good for a few years. And
That's
I'm like,
true.
oh, okay. Pretty much since he's been in New Day almost.
Kind of, yeah. Now that you mention it.
Because they all of his saves since he's been in New Day, or a lot of them have all had to involve the other members in New Day, and they're not as good as some of his previous ones.
Mm-hmm.
Curious if Ray's sticking around, but
yeah.
Overall, I enjoyed the Rumble.
Yeah, given the current need for a GM for 205 Live, as they announced, I would be okay with either Ray or Hurricane if they decided to keep one of them around.
Yep.
So,
if you believe the rumors, I find it funny because I don't think it can be Hurricane.
How come?
For the same reason it couldn't be Summer Rae. If you saw that rumor.
I saw that rumor.
Apparently it couldn't be Summer Rae because she was taller than most of the people on the 205 roster.
Yep.
And Hurricane's not that much shorter than Cena. Like when he was doing this choke slam, he wasn't that much shorter than him.
No.
Ray, I'm like, okay. Yeah. Ray
yeah.
definitely builds that shortness thing they need.
Yeah.
Unless they go with Hornswoggle. He was the anonymous GM of Raw at one point.
He was. He's got experience.
Even though apparently he wasn't.
Yeah, they kind of retcon that, sort of.
Because I think that was meant to be a throwaway joke when they realized how annoyed people got that was because they're like, we waited for a reveal and that was it. Oh wait, no, he was just joking.
Yeah.
It's hard to say if it was him or not. But
who knows?
After this match, we cut to I think it was another tag team.
It's worth noting at the end of the match, after the match, Shinsuke Nakamura was interviewed and announced that he would be challenging AJ Styles at WrestleMania. So,
yep,
we know where that's going.
Because this year they said both of the people who win can challenge for either title.
Yeah,
which was cool. And after this, we cut backstage to a promo, I believe, between Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Kurt Angle, which was actually pretty good.
It was.
Also, Stephanie totally called it.
She did.
Even now, obviously, before people say what because some people always say, "Oh, she ruined it by saying that," but she's the GM or she's the commissioner of Raw. Of course, she's going to say it's a Raw superstar that's going to win and highlight it. I'm looking forward to a Raw superstar winning.
Yeah,
that's not spoiling it. That's doing her job as being in charge of Raw, of wanting them to win. But it was fun, and it got you excited for the upcoming Rumble. It got you. You saw them celebrating the other Rumble. It was a good little promo.
It was a lot of promo. And Daniel Bryan and Shane were on the same page because of brand loyalty, so that was good.
Yep.
All right. So yes, after this, we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match of Rollins and Jason Jordan defending against The Bar.
Yep. The Architect and the Bastard teaming up.
Yep.
Because let's not forget, Jason Jordan is a bastard.
And now that you've made that point, I kind of want Lashley to come back and feud with him just so he can say, "You say your name is Jason Jordan, you're crying the son. I say your name is Jason Jordan, you're a bastard."
Yep. He is, though. Technically speaking, he is a bastard.
It's true.
In terms of WWE storylines. Not in terms of real life, before anyone thinks that, but
right.
Just by the sheer premise of his parents not being married and not even knowing who his daddy was, he's definitely a bastard.
It's true.
That's how that word works.
Indeed. But anyway, so early in the match, Jason Jordan got thrown out and got his face slammed into a ring post and was basically incapacitated for the duration of the match, and Seth Rollins got double teamed and lost.
Maybe he should turn on Seth Rollins and join Cesaro and Sheamus and make the Bastards. That would actually be a funny group.
That'd be hilarious.
Ready to feud with the Bastards versus the Shield. I would watch that.
That'd be good.
It would be terrible. It would be a terrible name, but I would totally enjoy the Bastards. And I'm like, okay, that's funny.
Yes. But yes, the Bar did regain the Raw Tag Team Championship.
Yep. Also, I'm going to give props to Jason Jordan after calling him a bastard and highlighting the fact he is indeed a bastard. He sold his head injury well. Like when he's in the corner, he's going, and then with how he passes out and stuff, he sold it well.
He did.
Which is rare because a lot of people aren't selling shit nowadays.
It's true.
Which is annoying.
Like Finn Balor 40 minutes into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just really annoying.
Yep.
Because nowadays people aren't selling as often as they should. Like they think just because they've got the area with that stupid tape, that equals selling. Luckily tonight they replaced it with bandages, and you'll notice like the NXT guy who came out and he's hurt his arm, so he's got the bandage on his arm. He was kind of selling his arm injury as well as he can do most of the night. Whereas on the main roster, you get people who will come out and they'll have like, oh, this guy's hurt his leg. Look, he's got the tape on his leg. Runs around the ring perfectly fine.
Yeah. Her arm. It was a girl. It was Ember Moon.
Also, the guy who came out from NXT had the like hurt ribs.
Yeah, he had the tape on the ribs. Yeah.
Yeah, he had the hurt ribs and he was selling it well.
That's true. That was Adam Cole. He did sell that very well.
Like whenever he went to lift people, sometimes he wouldn't properly and go and hold his ribs and stuff. It worked.
Yeah. That was another good thing in the men's Rumble. They had a number of NXT superstars appearing, including the NXT champion Andrade Cien Almas and Adam Cole of the that faction whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Yep.
So I got some NXT appearances, which was nice. What's up? Next up, we had the triple threat match for the WWE Universal Championship of the Devil's favorite demon Kane versus the Monster Among Men Braun Strowman versus the Beast, the Conqueror, Brock Lesnar.
No. You're not allowed to call Kane the demon.
Okay.
We've been very careful not to call him that since that's Finn Balor's gimmick now. And that's why they keep referring to it as the Machine versus the Monster versus the Beast.
Except during the promo before the match, there was a point where I think it was somebody was cutting a promo and blatantly said, something about Braun the only thing is Monster, and I doubt Kane is the Devil's favorite. So they referenced it even though they didn't outright say the word demon.
Yeah, they referenced it, but that's not the same. Yeah. But yeah, they've gone out their way to not call it that, if that makes sense. I'm just pointing that out because it's really annoying. Because he was the Devil's favorite demon. The demon. Hell, literally, we had Demon Kane and Corporate Kane, or whatever you want to call it, at one point as the two things, and he kept calling himself Demon Kane. But since Finn Balor's put paint on, we're not allowed to call him Demon.
Yep. But this was a good match. I mean, everybody knew it wasn't going to be a technical match. It was gonna be a spot fest, but it was still really good.
I like this match. It was a good brawl.
Yeah,
Good brawl and weapons. And they put each other through tables and stuff. It was fun.
they did. It was good.
There was the moment where they stiffed.
Yeah, that was not a good move because well, you're the one that saw it. You can tell him.
Well, basically, the Braun Strowman knee seemed like it was stiffed Brock. Brock seemed to basically swear at him and then punch him hard afterwards, and Paul Heyman looked like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Luckily, they didn't do that for the whole match. It was more like just a payback punch. I
yeah,
don't even think it was a legit punch. I think it was just harder than it should have been.
yeah.
But you don't stiff Brock.
No, that's a bad idea.
That's stupid. But like I said, the matchup was fun. I
Mhm.
enjoyed this.
Yeah,
It was fun seeing Brock actually put people through tables for once. I say
Yeah.
that because he kept going through the table in the last one.
he did.
However, I feel like they've done that to build him up so someone could take the belt off him at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
But who will lead the reins on that assault?
I know. I can't imagine. They'll have to go roaming far and wide to find somebody.
They will. We're going to need a shield to get past that armor.
Pretty much. They'll need to
Yeah,
find a big dog to sniff somebody out.
Yep. But it's fine. Brock will keep his title as long as he doesn't enter anyone's yard unexpectedly.
Yep.
But no, we'll stop saying that. We all think it's rained. Let's just say.
Pretty much. It's Roman Reigns.
And they've built up the F5 to be this unstoppable move. So I'm really excited for WrestleMania when he kicks out 6,
Yep.
including a super F5 off the top turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be so terrible.
It is.
But some people argue it's good because for the title to be on Raw every week, around like the title was on David Arquette on Nitro every week, didn't make it better.
No.
I like Brock as champion, but it's not like I said, the matchup was cool. It was fun. It had a good build up,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously Brock won.
He did. Brock retained off of a massive F5 to Kane onto a steel chair.
On top of Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
On top of 4 elephants on a turtle's back.
Sure, why not?
People will get that reference. It's fine. Flash drive.
Okay.
Well, you don't think that's funny? It's a flash drive.
Fair enough.
That is a fun pun. It's a flash drive that looks like the Flash and it's running. We're like, look what it's like. I like that. But yeah, I saw this and I had to buy 4.
You did.
Different colours, but I got the green one for me. I got one for my nephew. I got one for my niece. They got one for my brother.
Nice.
Because we all like the Flash, and I'm like, well, fuck it. It's a funny pun.
Hmm.
But yes.
Indeed. So yeah, Brock retained. That was good. And of course, the main event match tonight, the first ever 30-woman Royal Rumble match.
Yep.
Featured Stephanie McMahon on special commentary. It of course featured our special guest ring announcer Maria Menounos, who is apparently required to show up for things in WWE now.
I think she's officially joined WWE, hasn't she? Because she does a few things.
Okay.
Like we'll see her in a couple of months on the red carpet.
That's true. That's true. And I did like the touch they did here.
Assuming the rumors of her and Becky dating are true.
Okay then.
You in your head, you're like, red carpet, Becky? Oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, you're so innocent.
That was good. Anyway, yeah, and I did like the touch where they actually had Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, the respective SmackDown and Raw Women's Champions, actually sitting at ringside in chairs on either side of the of what was left of the main announce table, to watch the match and be out there. So that was a nice touch. I thought that was very cool.
Yep. I will say one slight thing about that, which may be the opposite of what they were going for.
Okay.
They kind of made Charlotte look weaker than Alexa.
Did they?
Because during the match, multiple times, like Nikki did it and a couple of others did it, they'd look over the top rope and point at Charlotte like that's the one they want to challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one wants a piece of Alexa. because they know they'd lose. That's not what you should do. There should have been someone who did that to her.
Yeah.
But as much as I don't like her, Naomi's save was fucking brilliant.
That worked. It was great.
She sort of ended up on the barrack, landing on a pile of women. We've all been there. And then she goes onto a barricade, goes along the barricade onto a chair, uses her legs on the chair, and sort of goes along her and comes up. It was fun. I liked her save. It was good. Then she gets into the ring and quickly eliminated. Yep. She essentially quickly got back into the ring while saying in a Scottish accent that she was going to save the day and got an axe to the back.
Yep, basically.
That's what that scene was, but no.
This truly is a disturbing match.
Yep, but I enjoyed them at that. We had a lot of returns on this one, which I feel that may be a negative. As there might have been too many.
Yeah, there were quite a few returns.
We had Kelly, Molly Holly, Vicky Guerrero, Michelle McCool, Trish Stratus, Lita. Am I forgetting anyone else?
Jacqueline.
I think I mentioned Jacqueline, didn't I?
Did you? I don't think you mentioned. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Trish, Kelly,
Molly Holly,
yep.
Jacqueline,
yep.
Lita, Trish, Beth Phoenix, Michelle McCool. I think I forgot Beth Phoenix before.
Yeah, Michelle McCool, and then
the Bellas, both Bellas.
Yeah, both Bellas were considered returns.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of returns.
Yeah, but I think that's probably because they have obviously less women on the roster than they do guys, but they still wanted it to be 30.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Oh, and Tori Wilson.
That's right, Tori, yes. So 10.
Which was
10.
Cool.
10.
The things I will point out with this, like I said, I like that, and since we all normally comment on people's attires, I will say I thought Seth Rollins had the most ridiculous outfit until Tamina came out. Don't get me wrong, I like Tamina, as Jim knows. I actually am one of the few people that likes Tamina, but she's normally all in black, and this she came out all in white, and it didn't look right. I was like, oh, that doesn't look right to me. Also, Lita looked kind of weird in like a muted grey colours compared to her normal flamboyant colours.
Yeah, that was a little off.
Well, according to Stephanie on commentary, who was awesome on commentary in my opinion.
She was great.
Lita had the names on her of all the people who couldn't be there tonight.
Aww.
I don't think she had the names of all the people who couldn't be there. I checked her arm, my name was not there. But no, there's probably been more women than she could write on her arm.
Probably.
But that was funny.
Yeah.
And I will also say, based on like we said, we were only going to mention the pre-show if it was relevant. Which I was going to say for the previous match as well. Jason Jordan kind of got his comeuppance, yeah. By losing, because he kind of mocked Chad Gabriel for not having a belt. And even Shelton was like, "That used to be your partner." He's like, "Yep." And they don't like him anymore, and they're heel.
Yeah.
Which like the commentators mentioned, no one seems to like Jason Jordan, which is the story they're going with, which is fun.
It is.
But yeah, the women's Rumble match was actually really good. I will admit, some of the women didn't get eliminated properly. They kept hitting the apron, then falling, which is a safer way to do it, and it's fine. Arguably, it's safer, but it's more easier at least. However, Beth went over perfectly, like boom, onto her feet. And wasn't there another one that did?
Carmella.
Oh yeah, Carmella went over really well. Which that was pretty good for her. That was good. Nia Jax versus Beth was a great highlight.
It was.
I did actually enjoy that interaction. And the winner, Asuka.
No one was ready for Asuka.
I think everyone was ready for Asuka. We all expected her to win. And I will say, the way she won, I actually kind of liked it, even though I don't like her. Because she's basically Femberg at this point with the streak.
Yeah.
But it's a case of she sort of does this move to pull Nikki Bella over the top rope in a unique way.
Yeah.
Nikki Bella lands on the top rope. They sort of, like, Nikki sort of punches her, and Asuka quickly does a drop kick and sends Nikki straight off. That was a fun little exchange. I like that. It was kind of unique.
That was good. I like that.
Part of me was just like, oh god, please don't mess this up. Like, part of me expected Asuka to accidentally slip off. I know you shouldn't do, but whenever you're down to the two final ones and you can tell which one's supposed to win, you don't want to see them fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, if Asuka had fucked up and landed on the outside and Nikki had won, that would have been that would have just ruined all of WrestleMania.
It would have.
Don't get me wrong, I like Nikki Bella, if anyone thinks that's what I'm on about, but they clearly want it to be Asuka, probably via Alexa.
That seems likely.
Because post-match, out came Ronda Rousey.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Yes, which was cool. And I do like Ronda.
Yes.
It was cool watching her in UFC and stuff like that, and seeing her now, I'm like, that's cool. She brings a legitimacy to the female division, so that'd be cool. And it's obvious that they're going to build her v Charlotte, because they kind of teased the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen multiple times. So her v Charlotte is the most logical route.
Yeah. Although, given her MMA background and everything, it was interesting to consider that at the end of this evening, we had Femberg and Fembrock in the same ring.
Not really. The reason I say Femberg is all Asuka has going for is the streak. Ronda didn't come out like Brock. She literally just came out cool in a leather jacket and stuff.
True.
She has some other stuff going for her.
Mm-hmm.
But, and we also got Carrie into the match and the NXT people.
Yes, there were no NXT people. Ember Moon, Kairi Sane was great to have. So just some great appearances there.
Yep.
Kairi Sane is incredible. I feel like I need to go back and watch the Mae Young Classic now.
Yep, and I will say she wasn't who I wanted to win the Mae Young Classic, but I did like her. So when she won, I didn't mind.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't mind the other person in the final with her too. That was cool. Ironically, I think she was I think she also is one of the MMA people. That's fine.
Yeah, the thing was Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, but that's fine. But it was a case of the one I wanted to win was, I think it was Tori Storm.
Fair enough.
I liked her, but yeah. Overall, I looked at this was a great segment. The edit was great. The only issue No?
You completely broke up there. I couldn't understand you for a second.
Oh, what I said was the only problem I had was Asuka didn't actually get interviewed at the end.
Yeah, she didn't name anybody.
And then when I went, no, I could see you trying to do I'm going to mock what the other person's doing without actually listening to them. But it's a case of, yeah, they made a big point out of it and made the point to do it to Nakamura. Who are you going to challenge for? They should have done that with Asuka. If you're going to challenge her, then she could have said Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
And those two could have stared each other down. Then you could have had Charlotte stare down Ronda at the same time, while the camera just shows that WrestleMania logo behind them, and you instantly made it.
Yeah.
You've shown what the main events are. Well, not the main event, but still. Although Ronda v Charlotte could main event WrestleMania, but I don't think it will.
No, I don't think it will, but it could.
So but that's cool. Overall, I like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
There was no matches on the card that I hated.
No. It's a very good card.
There may be winners I disagreed with, but that's fine. The matches are still solid, and I feel people who complain about matches just because of the winner are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But because like no one was hurt by them winning either. It wasn't like anyone won by complete burial or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall, I liked the Royal Rumble. It was fun.
It was a great pay-per-view. Very, very enjoyable. Best pay-per-view WWE's done in a while.
Yep, I give it a thumb up.
Yeah, definitely. I gave it a strong 90 at least, maybe even a 95. This was a great pay-per-view.
It was, and we are now officially on the road to WrestleMania. Which coming up on the road to WrestleMania, me and Jim will be doing Fastlane, Elimination Chamber, which is the next one. Obviously, WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame. And we also have a list that we're going to be doing for one of our things. We're going to be doing our awards.
Yes.
From WrestleMania last year to just before this year's WrestleMania.
Yep.
So that'll be fun.
It will be fun. Good times.
Yep.
All right. And I believe our good friend Victor Hammer is joining us for those awards, is he not?
He may be. We haven't officially got him nailed down to a contract yet.
Okay.
I've heard rumors that he may be joining a New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast, but
okay.
Or he might be going to become the face of one of the Global Force Wrestling podcasts.
Okay.
Well, he'll be known as Rick Space Tour Cage.
But
But I don't know. It could happen.
Anything's possible.
But
yeah. So that was the Royal Rumble. Stay tuned for this Tuesday. Of course, the final countdown is coming up. We'll be doing out.
Anything you were surprised at for the Royal Rumble? I mean, majorly surprised in like it didn't happen, not that it did.
Not really. No, I don't think it super surprised me out of anything. I
was expecting one thing.
What's that?
We didn't get Triple H.
That's true.
I thought they would have been setting up his Mania match.
Well,
you know what I mean? I thought that was going to happen, so I was like, oh, that didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen, but there wasn't anything super that I expected that didn't happen, so that's they were pretty on target for the show.
I know a lot of people were expecting Bryan to enter the Rumble. I said they could have gone either way, so that's fine. I'm not going to hate them because, ooh, boo, you didn't do what I expected you to do that you couldn't possibly do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rumble, thumb up for me.
Yep. All right. Like I said, stay tuned for this Tuesday. We'll be doing our final countdown. The first final countdown on our 2018 Year of Heroes. It will be counting down the top 5 superhero video games.
With the rules being it can't be the multiple of the same video game franchise, but you can use the same comic franchise.
Right.
I.e., you could include, say, Batman from Injustice if you wanted to, and Batman Arkham, but you can't do Arkham Asylum and Arkham City.
Right. That's good clarification. All right, we will see.
Just in case people are wondering why we don't have a list of like all the Batman Arkham games on one fucking list.
Right.
Night wouldn't be on the list.
Yeah. So we'll see you then for that, and for more great wrestling stuff coming up. Elimination Chamber next month. Peace.